Welcome to Budget Sessions. Today, we're talking about how to update your existing headcount and how to add new headcount into your budget. As you can see, I've already logged into Hyperion and will need to navigate to the Workforce cube to make those adjustments and additions. Once there, I'll expand Forms, Forms again, and navigate to the Rolling Budget folder. When you open the folder, you'll see that there are a number of forms there already. The ones that we'll use for the rolling budget start with the word composite, and the different forms correspond to the different parts of the profit and loss statement. So if you're in a G&A cost center, you'll use the G&A form. If you're in a COGS cost center, you'll use the COGS form, etc. for R&D and selling. A good rule of thumb is that if you open the form and there's no information there or no people, you're in the wrong form. So to open a form, go to the left panel and open it. The form may take a few seconds to load. While it's loading, it's important to note that for our demonstration today, we're using Utah Jazz roster information and no information relating to USANA employees. The form has two sections then to it. The top section relates to hourly employees, the bottom section relates to salaried employees, and there's multiple tabs on each section. The first tab shows existing employee information. The second tab is where you enter new employee information. And the third tab is a summary of both existing and new employees. So as you can see on the existing employee tab, we have the listing of the employees that are in your cost center. The rest of the information presented on this form is information that's necessary to calculate their compensation in the budget. So hours per week, hourly base rate, if you're going to provide them a raise or a promotion, what percentage of their compensation is that, and what month is that applicable for. That's all the information you need to provide for 2018, which is very similar to the information that you need to provide for 2019. Again, hours per week, hourly base rate. However, that hourly base rate should be the same as the new hourly base rate that's calculated in 2018, which is taking into effect already the merit increase amount for that year. And then again, if you're going to give them a promotion or a raise, what percentage of their compensation is that and what month is that applicable? That's the same information that you need to look at and review for salaried employees, except for you don't need to look at hours per week. You'll just look at the annual salary amount. The biggest things that you need to get correct on this form is to make sure that everyone in your cost center is listed on this form and that their compensation is correct. And that if you have a vacancy, you need to contact the finance department to have us input them as an existing headcount and not as a new headcount. Next, if we go to the second tab, this is where we add new employees to your budget. Again, not vacancies, but brand new headcount to your budget. The process is pretty simple. You'll enter in a description of the title. If you're hiring them in 2018, you'll put the number of employees that you plan on hiring, the month that you're going to hire, and what annual salary you're going to do. That's if you plan on hiring them in the current year or in 2018. If you do that, you have to add that position as being hired in January of 2019. So if I want a new power forward in 2018 to be hired in July, I have to include that new power forward as being hired in January of 2019 as well. If you don't, that position will not carry over into the next year, and you'll have an incredibly high budget variance starting off the year. That's if you're adding a new employee in the current year. Now, if you're going to add a new employee in 2019, you don't need to add them into 2018, and I can put new shooting guard hired in 2019, and that's it. I don't have to worry about adjusting the current year at all. But that is one of the biggest takeaways you need to know and remember when you're doing new hires in the budget. And that's how you add new headcount into your budget. So let's navigate over to the third and final tab of the form, which is a summary view of all your existing and new headcount. On this form, you'll see again your existing employees, and you'll see your new employees listed at the bottom of those forms. So you can see our new power forward, who we anticipate hiring in 2018. That position is listed twice, once for 2018 and once for 2019. And we can scroll over and we can see the compensation is entered both in 2018 and in 2019, which is exactly how it needs to appear if you plan on hiring them in 2018. For a 2019 hire, such as our new shooting guard, they will only appear once, and they won't have any information entered into 2018, which is exactly how we want them to appear because we anticipate hiring them sometime in 2019. This summary tab provides an excellent opportunity for you to review again for completeness and ensure accuracy. That way you can ensure all of your employees are listed in there, their base compensation amounts are all correct, and then you can also do some quick comparisons to see how is their compensation changing in the current year with any merit increase or promotion applicable, and what is their year-over-year change in their compensation looking like. That way it gives you a good perspective on what's happening with this employee over the next 4 quarters. Again, this summary view is incredibly important to ensure accuracy. As we've discussed, typically, wages and benefits account for about 50% of a cost center's total expenses. So if you're missing an employee, or if any of this information is incorrect, then you're going to have a hard time putting together an accurate budget. This concludes our tutorial about how to adjust your existing workforce and to add new headcount into your budget. If you have any further questions, comments, or concerns, please contact the finance department to have them help you walk through this process that's incredibly important for your budget.